My name is Hnr Deloune, representing Girl Child Network. We are here at Chihota Empowerment Village for the WCPRC Global Vote Launch, which will take place in 2011. So we would like to acknowledge the presence of all the girls as well as the boys who are here to participate for the global vote launch, hoping that it's start up to something that will continue until 2011, as we'll be electing the next WCPRC champion. Thank you.
Some children may wonder, what is global voting? Global voting was started a long time ago when children were being raped and abused violently. There was people who stood up to start global voting so that they could fight for their rights. They could stop abuse, they could stop rapists from raping children. Global vote is when we children vote for our rights to safety, vote for our rights to education that was being deprived from us. Global vote in Zimbabwe, we have our own Betty Makon who stood up for the girls. As she stood up, she was being threatened and being unanimously deprived from standing up for the girls. She stood up for the girls. She now caters for the girls' rights and for their safety in Zimbabwe. So global vote is there. When we vote, we must vote for Betty Makoni so that she can stand up, and she must get the resources for us to continue having our leisure, our safety, our education. Global vote also is meant to educate people. Global vote, which is going to be on next year, we are going to vote for our rights as girls, which was being deprived, and making the boys feel better than the girls. Though a girl child is a girl child and a boy child is also a child. We are all equal because we are all children. Because the UN law says every person below the age of 18 is a child. So we both have our rights, and we both are considered to be children equally, without any gender differences. So the global vote is there to let us know, to let us feel that our rights will be advocated for, and people will be there. Parents will be awareness will be raised to the parents so that they will make us feel at home, feel like children, and give us our rights.
Gosi Johnson of South Africa, Maiti Nepal of Nepal, Maggie Barankitsa of Burundi, James Agar of Sudan, Pratip Ongsong Tamhata of Thailand, Dunga Mothers of Kenya, Nelson Mandela and Gracia Machel of South Africa and Mozambique, Craig Kilberger of Canada, the Orphans Organization AOCM of Rwanda, Somali Ma'am of Cambodia, and finally and proudly Zimbabwean's very own Muzare Betty Makoni.
Vatisora apa, vatisa apa, vativisa apa, vatisikisira, oh, vanigodonesu. Mujare nyasha vanihanya nesu, oh, vanihanya, oh, vanihanya, oh, vanihanya nesu. Sariraisha vatiyetsa. Vatisora apa, vatisa apa, vativisa apa, vatisimudzira, oh, vanihanya nesu.
Deloune DonComforts Matongo, Member of Parliament for Chitunguza North Constituency. Now, I would like to talk of the World Children's Prize on the Rights of the Child. Now, this is a project that was initiated so that we as children, we could actually realize that there are some people out there who are having sleepless nights, we are working day and night, trying to make a conducive environment for us, trying to make a child-friendly environment. There are people out there who actually right now on the ground trying to make a child amicable environment so that we may live the life that we want to live. Over the past few years, a lot of cases have been reported of child sexual abuses, child harassment, children being shown pornographic material and stuff, but there are some people who said no to it. It must stop, and those are the people who are actually working today. Then the children's prize on the rights of the child, it was then put to honor such people who are working towards the changing of our environment. It was put so that they could be honored as a way of thanking them. Now, from 2000 till now, this has become an annual event whereby every year children vote for the 3 heroes that they would say no. These are the people who have actually advocated for our rights, and they've actually done mighty things in order to improve our lives. Now, this program is actually not a competition or anything, but it's just a way of honoring them. All people would have done great things, but then there are some whom we just have to honor and say, out of all those people who are doing these things for us as children, let us honor him and him and him. So now, this project is now for people who are below the age of 18, according to the UN Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, which says that a child is any person below the age of 18. And us as children and us as people who are below the age of 18, we are being encouraged to be part and parcel of this voting process so that you can actually give honor to those who deserve it, to those who are actually working towards the improvement of our lives. Now, probably just to give you a few things that happened in the past years, probably starting from 2000. In 2000, we actually have a guy by the name Equid Mercy from Pakistan. He was made a debt slave, whereby he was actually being enslaved because of a debt. But then he had to fight against it until it was a victory. And then in 2000, he was honored for that. Also, going on in 2001, we have another guy who was called Esfo Yemuri from Ethiopia. He was actually a street kid by the age of 9 years. 9 years, he was a street kid. But then because he knew that this was not the life that he wanted children to live, I'm sure you know that street kids don't go to school, they don't have food, they don't have, standard accommodation, they just sleep outside. But him as somebody who had a mindset that wishes to care for children, by the age of 18, he started a school under a tree where he could actually teach other street kids about things that are actually helpful to them. So for that, for the next 49 years that he lived, he had been doing such things, and from hands from benevolent people who would wish to help him, he actually managed to be somebody else in life. Besides being a street kid, he later became somebody who was then popular and who would actually still be in the business of providing education to all street kids and other people living with other disadvantaged people. So in 2001, he was also honored as being the Hero of the Year for that year. And also now in 2002, we had Nkosi Johnson from South Africa. He advocated for people or children living with HIV and AIDS. Like, in the past few years, they've been discriminated from the society. They've said that they mustn't mingle with others. But then Johnson had to stand and say no to it. It must stop. We are all children. We must, we must be treated as such. We must be treated just like any other children, because there's no difference in somebody who's HIV positive and somebody who's HIV negative. So Johnson had to stand for it and say it mustn't be like that. So from then, a lot of people have been, from 2002 now, a lot of people have been given awards, and then they've been winning because of their efforts. Until I also wish to acknowledge that in 2007, our own Betty, the Betty that whom we have all been singing about, she also became a hero in 2007 for what she's doing in Zimbabwe, for helping the girl child. I mean, I'm sure we all know that the girl child network is now all around Zimbabwe, in all places around Zimbabwe. She's assisting girls living with disabilities, girls who are being victims of abuse, girls who are not, managing to pay for their fees. And recently, boys have also been included in the Girl Child Network. Though it's Girl Child Network, but now boys are also being included, meaning that probably by time it shall be called the Child Network. You never know, probably tomorrow you might be the hero of the day, you might be the hero of the year. So just if you feel that there's something that is actually happening on the ground, and you feel that you should say it out, please say it out, and then you'll be heard.
Everyone has a place. Dog has a kennel, cattle has a crop, animals has a forest, people have a home. As for girls, we have Girl Child Network. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow students, invited guests and distinguished delegates. My name is Charmaine Veli, and I'm a Form 2 student at St. Hnr Secondary School. As a homeless child, I live in mountains, and baboons are my new neighbors. Tree bugs are my blankets, hard rocks are my pillow. Scorpions are my adversaries, and aphids as my food. I'm weary and despair of a better life ever again. Bitter battles about rights unfold. You persecuted the ballot paper. Now my mission is to make your souls pause. I was hounded and pounded, raped and re-raped, dirty muscles pressing my tender flesh. Oh, what a trauma. Thank you.
Being here to give a lot of thanks to the following. Firstly, we would like to thank the schools here, those who have participated in today's event, teachers, students. We thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Also wish to thank people from Girl Child Network for organizing and coordinating this event. We thank you.